Yeah. All right, we are live. I'm your host, Hulk Zucchini. We are going to be having this is the JV Overwatch team heading for the first point on Lijiang Tower. The bans are Jetpack Cat for University of New Haven and Venture for Eastern Idaho. JV begins their hopefully march to a Div 7 national title here with their first round matchup against Eastern Idaho. Should be pretty good match overall. We're gonna see. Looks like Cami on Ramatra, Slasher on Kiriko, Sticks on Juno, Dennison. Like we're gonna have Symmetra probably for the portal here just to start. Yeah, it's Dennison on the Symmetra, as we see Eastern Idaho running Emre Genji. Looks like maybe a Ramatra duel. Yeah, looks like this is going to be a Ramatra duel, as well as Juno for one of the sports. We get to see the other sport for Eastern Idaho, as we are going to see University of New Haven gaining control early. And with Nashville starting, we do see the return of Big Man, who has taken a bit of a leave, but he is back. I'm really excited to see what these Chargers can do with Big Man back in the action. See, nothing too crazy yet. Juno is going to be the first to fall for Eastern Idaho. No picks really yet. That Juno pick being the only kill so far in this matchup. As you see Dennison going down to the Ramatra, who like was is nanoed. As we see Eastern Idaho gaining point, through New Haven captures about 50% of it. Looks like they're going to take a little bit of a reset as a team here. They are going to have Juno going into this fight. That'll provide some really nice sustain here. They're TPing into point, and they open up with Ramatra ult. Eastern Idaho mirrors the Ramatra ult, but it does look like New Haven is going to take this team fight. And your point. New Haven with the early advantage, about 20-25% over Eastern Idaho. Dennison getting his turrets set up. Again, we do see the Ramatra duel as this mesh shield goes up. It's gonna block a lot of Eastern Idaho's line of sight. Looks like they're gonna kite this back a little bit, but we do expect that Ramatra to still be hovering around point. So you see both Juno ults coming out, looks like. And we are going to hit overtime. Let's see if New Haven can finish this up. Get it done. But that is two picks. That is, yeah, 2 picks on the Genji ult. Ramatra picking up 2 of his own. As Eastern Idaho is going to take the point back off a great Genji blade. No swaps for New Haven. We're going to keep running it back with this same lineup for this next team fight. TP in at the same spot. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. as 6 is going to go down early. And Eastern Idaho's Ramatra picking up a 3-piece as Ray picks up 2 of his own as well. New Haven is going to have to be a bit quick about this. They only have about 25% until Eastern Idaho takes this round. We can see Slasher trying to farm up that Kiriko ult. That'll be a huge ult to get off, as we do see the engage with the Ramatra ult, and there goes Kiriko ult as well. Paired with the Ramatra ult, gets 2 picks. See if they can get a third to finish this out. Ramatra's just going to try to hold as long as he can, but it does not look like Eastern Idaho is going to have enough, and New Haven takes the first point here at Bijang Tower. It was overall a great round for New Haven. Pairing the Ramatra and the Kiriko at the end there really on them that point. Getting those 2 support picks really, really important. I think we're going to see Dennison swapping to Reaper here. But he's going to go back to Symmetra. I think that their team comp is really, really strong. I think Symmetra is has a great matchup into a team comp surrounded by Ramatra, as well as the turrets can be used to counter the dive threat and Genji. As we are going to see New Haven taking Portal straight to point and putting their presence there first. Eastern Idaho is going to have to try to break New Haven's hold on point. As we're going to see, looks like a Reaper switch from Eastern Idaho. And it looks like Eastern Idaho is going to get those 2 picks, as we see New Haven just resetting. Eastern Idaho is going to gain momentum. I have no doubt, though, that New Haven is going to be able to fight right back. As we see, Ramatra trying to get some poke damage here. Nothing too crazy. A little bit of a stalemate between both teams. No clean picks yet. Again, both teams just sticking to this midpoint, not really making any plays yet. But it does look like New Haven's going to want to go to the right side, to the back right of point, trying to make a play from there. Eastern Idaho is going to pick up 2 picks, though. And that's going to be a team wipe for Eastern Idaho. I would say New Haven probably has to switch up a few things here, as we do see Dennison going back to the Reaper. Other than that, sticking to what looks like the same. I would assume they're going to try to build Kiriko ult here and try to pair it with the Ramatra ult that worked really, really well last point. See how well they're able to take space here. As you're going to see Eastern Idaho's Ramatra ult coming out, taking out Dennison, but Dennison is going to get a pick of zone. The Reaper, as we are going to see Big Man's ult coming out, not doing too much. New Haven is going to have to act here, as we see both Ramatra ults coming out. We'll see who comes out on top. Still contested overtime, but Amy does go down, as it looks like Eastern Idaho is going to pick up this point. Bringing this map to a 3rd point. I think Eastern Idaho is going to have the momentum going into this. third round here. However, no doubt that New Haven will be able to make the adjustments by Slasher. I think with his leadership, they should be able to make the necessary swaps, pick up this third point. You do see this third and final point getting started here. Big man's still going to keep to the Emray. Looks like the support line is still the same. We do know that Dennison is Hero Ocean. He can swap to anything when necessary, but he's going to stick to the Reaper. That ended up working pretty well on that last point, but that is a big two piece by the opposing Ramatra. Like New Haven is going to continue to try to stick with the Ramatra, forcing the Ramatra duel. I would like to see maybe a different tank swap just to switch it up, but we will see how this second team fight goes. We are going to see Dennison having to back up. You see Cammy getting a pick. New Haven does have the numbers here. As you see Dennison being super, super aggressive on Eastern Idaho's backline. Trying to force this Ramatra off point, and he does go down. So Eastern or New Haven only picking up 2 picks. However, they took a ton of space. Dennison was super, super aggressive. New Haven continuing to be aggressive, trying to push Eastern Idaho more towards their spawn even. Looks like the game plan here is to just kind of hold this corner center console here, as we are going to see Eastern Idaho bringing out the Nano and the Ramatra. That can be a deadly foes. We're going to see that about picking up 2 picks and the third, as New Haven is going to be forced to back up. Let's hope they don't stagger here. New Haven does get the reset off pretty fast. Let's see if they can punish this Reaper. He does get back safely. We are going to see Dennison going down. Sticks going down. Cammy picks up 2 with her ult, but I'm not sure. Let's see what Eastern Idaho does here. Cammy trying to stick on point as long as possible. See what they can do here, as we do see Dennison getting back. Cammy doing a really good job stalling, but she is going to go down. As we do see Slasher getting picked as well. Nice pick from Big Man on the Reaper, but New Haven is going to have to touch quickly to get overtime, as we do see the Doom swap to hopefully get the touch in. And they do get the touch, so that is going to force overtime. But New Haven is going to have to do something in fast, as we do see Anna going down, but it is not going to be enough, as Eastern Idaho is going to take this first match. I think overall there were some great fundamentals from New Haven. Definitely some stuff to build on, but I think they're going to have to make a few swaps, switch a couple things up as we go into this second map here, so they hopefully don't go down too well. We are back for map 2 here on Eichenwald. New Haven did drop the first map. However, I have no doubt that they will be able to take map 2. Looks like we're going to have bans Hanzo from New Haven and Kiriko from Eastern Idaho. Flasher was putting in some work on the Kiriko. It makes sense they would have that ban. That New Haven's banning Hanzo because, well, Eastern Idaho has a player named Hanzo, man. I think we can put 2 and 2 together there. We will see what comp New Haven will run here. I'm pretty interested to see here, as we are going to see as we are going to see Denison's Venture open up. So I'd assume they're going to try to build around that, as we're going to see Nando being swapped in for Styx, Nando being on the Mizuki. We're going to see Denison on Venture. Looks like Cammy on Ramatra. Big man sticking to Emre. They're on Ana for New Haven's team comp. Personally like that a lot. Think nanoed Ramatra is disgusting in just about every single way. That can be that combo at least can be game changing. So we'll see how New Haven does on defense here. We'll also have to see what Eastern Idaho decides to roll out with. Looks like Hazard is going to get super aggressive here, but is going to get super low. Let's see if New Haven can get the pick. He's going to have to dive back behind cover. As we're going to see, it looks like Alari, Genji, and we're going to see Denison going down early. That's a big pick for Eastern Idaho. We're going to see Emre as well for Eastern Idaho. We're going to see Nanda going down, Slasher going down, and Big Man going down. Cammy with being the last person on point. But it looks like New Haven's just going to have to reset a really strong push for Eastern Idaho. Let's see what New Haven decides to do to try to reset and get momentum back in their favor. The big man taking height as he's going to get jumped by the Hazard, though. Hazard using his wall climb to force big man off height. We're seeing Denison trying to get deep in their backline, but is going to pay the price for overextending. And we trying to hold space on Ramatra. I think Hazard might just be a little bit too oppressive right now. Assume they're going to be forced to back up, as we're going to see a Lariel coming out. Going on those supports as Slasher goes down, Nando goes down. That is a big Alariel. That's 3 picks for Alari for Eastern Idaho. Because Denison's just going to have to back up, run for his life. But he is going to escape. Spoke too soon. That is a big stagger there for Eastern Idaho. Just see Genji Blade coming out, getting the pick on Slasher. We just see Eastern Idaho just using all of their momentum to just mow down New Haven. And Denison getting the swap to Sombra. He's going to switch back to Bash in here, which I like. I think he'll be able to melt this Hazard really easily, who's been giving New Haven a ton of problems. As we're going to see Cammy swapping to Sigma. Looks like they're trying to do whatever they can to counter this Hazard. It's been such a huge problem. As we're going to see the opposing Emrail getting popped. As you see Nando popping Mizuki ult here as well. No picks quite yet. We're going to see that Ramatra wall coming out, or hazard wall coming out. Excuse me, as we do see Emre going down. New Haven gaining back a little bit of momentum here with the team fight win. I think they definitely needed that. But Eastern Idaho coming back on the fast reset. As you see Cammy getting a huge pick, but Alariel is going to come out, which is going to force Eastern Idaho get super aggressive as Cammy's making some big plays, getting 2 picks, getting 3 picks of her own, as that's going to force Eastern Idaho to reset. Great mechanics, great aim is what set that up. As we're seeing New Haven now winning 2 team fights there. So we're going to see the Bastion ult coming out, not getting any damage, unfortunately. But of not the greatest usage, I would say. As we're going to see Eastern Idaho going back to the Ramatra that we saw in map 1, as we're going to see Nano coming out. That's 2 from the Nano. That's 2 picks for Cammy. Popping her ults, forcing Eastern Idaho to reset again. New Haven's had some great team fights here. The Eastern Idaho going to come back here. They are going to swap the Bastion, matching that of Denison's. Big man just continuing to stick on his height, trying to see what picks he can get, and that's a big pick on the Emre for Denison. He's doing a really good job holding this space here, using the cart and those stairs as cover. Eastern Idaho getting a little bit of momentum back here. No picks for them. As we're going to see Rail being popped. Not really a whole lot out of that, but it is going to force Eastern Idaho back into cover. So we're going to see Bastion going down on a definitely interesting ult, but that sleep is going to give the Nano Ramatra enough space that he needs to work with, taking out 3. You see Cammy go down, Slasher go down. Big man is also going to go down. No picks for Denison, as we're going to see Mizuki ult being popped. See if New Haven can hold here, as we're going to see Denison picking up a pick on the Juno. Big man swapping to the Tracer just to hold. That's both supports down for Eastern Idaho. As we are going to see Reaper being forced to back up. Wow, what a scrappy defense there from New Haven. These teams are known for being super, super scrappy. Super comeback. We'll have to see what New Haven can do here. Eastern Idaho is sticking to that Ramatra. Some great aim there from Denison. Him using his grenade to reposition. I feel like we could definitely see the sentry mode coming out just to lay damage into the Ramatra. That's exactly what's going to happen. Gonna see Denison repositioning as Reaper goes down. That's a big pick. As we see about 10 seconds left. New Haven doing a fantastic job on defense, getting 2 picks. And overtime is going to start here, but it does not look like Eastern Idaho is going to touch. So while it didn't look great in the beginning for New Haven, they pulled together, made the necessary swaps, was able to hold Eastern Idaho from getting that sweep. We'll have to see what New Haven does on the attack here as we see Slasher gonna stick with the Ana, that nano being so important to flip those team fights. Of course, we're gonna stay the same as well. As you're gonna see Cammy swapping to Hazard. Looks like Dennison is going to pick up the sim so he can hopefully get a portal reposition. And assume Big Man's swapping to the Sojourn for a little bit more movement. We'll see what New Haven can do here. There's see a little bit of a interesting portal play. See what they can do here. Gonna go. Looks like they're gonna try to go over the building. It's not really gonna work. New Haven getting a super split here. But assume that's a play that they've probably tried to practice. Just couldn't really put it into effect there. Gonna see about 40 seconds, probably a minute before this next minute, burning off the clock before this next team fight starts. So we're gonna see New Haven swapping back to Sigma, which worked extremely well on that defense. As we're gonna see Kemi going down on Sigma, that will halt New Haven's progress just a bit. So we're gonna see Ramacha picking up 2 picks, Emre picking up a pick of his own on Big Man. New Haven just taking the reset. So we're gonna see Cammy burning almost her entire shield. Ramacha giving her a little bit more trouble than he did on the defense. You're gonna see Dennison trying to take space of his own. Big rock, knocking back the Ramacha. We are gonna see New Haven having nano here. We'll see if they can do anything with it to hopefully try to make some space. Let's see both Ramacha or both tanks being antied here. New Haven taking a ton of space as we are going to see the nano coming out from the Ramacha. It can be super, super dangerous. You have to assume that he's going to have his ult. But nano isn't really going to do a whole lot as New Haven looks like there's the Ramacha ult. Picking up the pick on Amy. I spoke a little too soon. Ramacha ult getting 2 big picks. New Haven is going to have to be forced to back up. I see Dennison swapping to the Bastion. He had the Tracer on just for that first team fight. Not really working. He's going to swap back to the Bastion. We'll see if Dennison can get a pick on the Emre. Emre is getting really, really low. Narrowly escaping with his life as we're going to see a big rock coming out to smoke the Ana. As we're going to see New Haven getting some nice capture progress. And looks like, yep, they are going to cap point. So it took a minute, but New Haven does cap point, start up the payload. Looks like Eastern Idaho is going to make the swap to... No swaps there. Actually, no, it looks like, yep, they're going to make the swap to Freya. The movement on that character can get so crazy. So we're going to see, looks like Sigma ult coming out from New Haven. Big man just doing what he can to stay alive as Cammy goes down. New Haven's probably going to have to be forced to back up with their tank down. New Haven holding out in this room. They are going to have Mizuki ult. Hopefully to be nice defensive as Ramatra gets antied. And Ramatra's going to go down as we're going to see Cammy swapping to mirror the Ramatra as we see Juno ult coming out. As we see Big Man almost lose life, but he's going to stay alive. New Haven getting a ton of space. Just see them getting to this last final stretch of the first payload checkpoint. As we're going to see Hamming being nanoed, just going to look to go ham on their team. So we're going to see Mizuki ult getting popped, but Nando is going to go down to the Ramatra ult. See if Ramatra can go down, though. He's really low, but no. Now with that, Emre supporting him. As you're going to see New Haven having about 40 seconds. That's a long way to go from spawn. As we have to assume that Eastern Idaho is going to get super aggressive. If New Haven not touch this point, as we're going to see Dennison on the Tracer. Hopefully for New Haven to get a bit of an easier time touching a point here. They are going to walk right on height. It is the fastest way to point. As they're going to try to see if they can mirror. Oh, that is a big frail coming out from Eastern Idaho, getting 2 picks. Looks like that might be it for New Haven, as Eastern Idaho is going to take this second map. Again, similar to that first map, really, really nice moments, some great plays from both Cammy, Big Man, and Dennison. Some great sporting plays from Flasher, and this time Nando, but Eastern Idaho just made the bigger plays. As we see that Alari play the game. Oh, New Haven is very, very good when their backs are against the wall. So we will see what they can do in map 3. We are here for map 3. Eastern Idaho up 2-0 early on New Haven. But New Haven, you know what New Haven is known for? That's making those big comebacks. We're going to see sticks being swapped back in, being swapped in Fernando. As you see, Denison staking to the Venture. Sticks being on the Juno. We're going to see Cammy on the Mauga. Flasher on Kiriko. I would assume Big Man's on some form of hit scan. Yep, Big Man is on the M-Ray. We haven't seen the Mauga being pulled out yet today, with this being match point for Eastern Idaho. New Haven is just going to have to pull out whatever they can to stop Eastern Idaho from winning this game. As we're going to see 2 big picks for Ramatra, Slasher and Denison going down, Sticks going down, as well as Big Man. Eastern Idaho just exploding New Haven early, taking that early lead right back. It was a extremely fast team fight, Eastern Idaho being super efficient. Bans for this match being Ana and Sigma. That's probably the reason, one of the reasons why we're not seeing me on Sigma. She did really, really well on Sigma that last. We're going to see Denison swapping to Tracer here, going up against that Genji. We see a nice little DPS 1v1. We're going to see Genji falling back to get that health. Denison trying to do his best to wreak havoc in the back line. As you see that Genji popping right back up again. Both Junos fall for each team. Now a 4-on-4 with only 1 support per team. As we're going to see Alari, Ramatra, and it's not going to pop up. New Haven is going to get 3 picks, winning that team fight. Eastern Idaho getting a fair bit of distance, though, 55 meters, take the lead. We'll see if New Haven can take the momentum from that last team fight into this team fight, as we're going to see Denison going down early. That is a really unfortunate start to this fight for New Haven. We'll see what Big Man and his squad can do here. As we're going to see Kiriko ult coming out, as well as Alari ult. That's 3 picks again for Eastern Idaho, forcing New Haven to back up. We'll see if Cammy can try to avoid the stagger here. 200 health, but it does not look like... Nope, does not look like it. That is not great for New Haven, as we're going to see Denison just missing his ult. Not a whole lot of things going right for New Haven, but they're going to need to swing back something here if they're going to want to stay on. I haven't heard much noise from Big Man this game, but I'm sure he's just going to start to get going as soon as he pops his ult. New Haven needs something here. We're going to see the Mauga ult being popped, trapping 2, but Cammy exploding early. As we're going to see Big Man coming out, getting 2 picks with his ult. Or getting a pick with his ult, excuse me, and then Slasher and Sticks falling, as well as Denison. And I think I would like to see something switched up a little bit here for New Haven. See what Cammy can continue to do on the Mauga. So we're going to see that damage boost being popped. Sammy put in a ton of work to push back Eastern Idaho. As you're going to see Genji going down, big man picking up the kill. So you see Dennison swapping Soldier. New Haven returning it, returning the robot to that middle point. Gonna hopefully start a nice push here. You see Amy tried to take some space in Eastern Idaho, setting up on height. Gonna rain down fire on the New Haven backline. Dennison taking a bit of an off angle, trying to get a pick on the Juno. That Genji almost dies. Notice that Genji for Eastern Idaho is super, super aggressive. He either dives in the backline and gets 2 picks or just blows up and uses all of his cooldowns. As we're going to see three picks on Sojourn for Eastern Idaho, taking out Kimmy, Dennison, Slasher. As we're going to see New Haven getting set back up for the biggest defense of their season, as we see Cammy swapping to the Junker Queen, which I really liked counter Ramastra. I think we could have seen a little bit more of this earlier on, but I'm glad we're seeing it now. You're going to see, unfortunately, see Cammy going down as Genji Blade's getting popped. Ramatra ult's being popped, getting 2. That's 3 picks for the Ramatra. New Haven's going to have to touch here if they want to keep their season alive. As you see 3 go down, 4 go down for New Haven. That's the 5th and final. You're going to see Eastern Idaho taking the sweep on New Haven to end their match there.
This ends now. Target down. I want epic.
What's up?